Hi, I'm Andrew, and welcome to episode 10 of the Neon Knitter podcast. So, it's been a couple months since I filmed an episode, so I've got quite a few acquisitions to show. I have a new cast on, and I have a finished object. So I'm going to start with the finished object. And I was waiting to film this until I got this done. So you guys will have already seen it if you watched my yarn over video, but I didn't really stand up and show it to you guys. Because I was waiting to do that on the podcast episode. But this is the Bright Access Tee by Stephanie Lopin of Tally Bean Knits. So, it is from her book, Knit Happy with Self-Striping Yarn. So, Knit Happy with Self-Striping Yarn is a book all about what to do with self-striping sock yarn when you don't want to make socks. Like, say you bought this really pretty skein of self-striping sock yarn, and it's like, I don't know that I want to make socks out of it. Well, you probably still want to show off the beautiful stripes, right? So, that is where her book comes in. And you get to find patterns that call for self-striping yarn, but aren't socks. So, yeah, so I chose to do the Bright Access Tee, which is, and so the book's called Knit Happy with Self-Striping Yarn. Knit Happy with Self-Striping Yarn by Stephanie Lopin. And so the pattern is called Bright Access. And I checked that book out from the library, so I don't have it to show you, because I scanned it to the computer so I could put it in Knit Companion, and then I returned the book to the library. So, because if I had kept the book the whole time I was knitting this, the book would be long overdue. So, yeah. But anyways, so my main color, which is the dark gray, is from Mode Knit Yarn. It is their Mode Work Fingering. And I don't have the labels next to me to show you guys. It's Mode Knit Yarn, Mode Work Fingering. The color is called Coal, C-O-A-L. And then the self-striping yarn. This is from Earth Yarns. So it's Earth Yarns Unique Sock in the Pantone 21 colorway. So that's the 2021 Pantone. Color of the year was gray and yellow. So I don't even know what this year's color of the year is, but anyways. But this was 2021's colors of the year. And I really like gray and yellow together. Yellow's my favorite color, so I knew I had to have it. And then when I bought it, I was like, I don't know what to do with it. And then I found this pattern, and so I then proceeded to buy a main color to go with it. And you guys will hopefully remember that I bought the main color at the St. Cloud Spin Fest back in June. Yeah, you can go watch that video if you want to see that festival. But yeah, so I knew I wanted to wear this at Yarn Over because I wanted to show Mode Knit what I made out of their yarn. So that motivated me to get it done in time for Yarn Over. Before I stand up and show you, I will mention I probably should have done a little more on the body. It's slightly more cropped than I wanted it to be. I didn't really want it to be cropped at all, but it was more cropped before I blocked it. And this is the first sweater I've ever blocked. Otherwise, I don't normally block my sweaters. So yeah. But overall, I think it's still wearable. But if I'm in a store and I need to grab something from the top shelf, you might see my stomach briefly, so I wish I had knit the body a little longer. But here's what it has going for it. It is my very first ever bottom-up garment, and so I'm still learning how to properly measure the body on those, because top-down I can just try it on and know if it's long enough. But bottom-up, it's harder to do that. So, yeah. So I'm still learning how to properly do a bottom-up piece. But yeah, this is also my first fingering weight sweater. Do you really even call it a sweater? Because it's technically a t-shirt. I don't know. But my first fingering weight top, because the sweater could be considered a top, I suppose. So yeah. So I'm just going to briefly get up here so you can see it. You can see I'm constantly having to like tug on it to make it not too cropped on me. And as soon as I lift my arms, then I have to do that again. So, so I had just wished I had made the body a little longer, but following the dimensions on the pattern, I knit it about 1.5 inches longer than the pattern said to, and still. But I made size medium, and I probably should have done size large. I think size large would fit me a little better. However, I couldn't do size large because I would run out of my self-striping yarn, because I only had enough to do medium. Well, I had enough to do the smaller sizes than that, but it would be too small for me then. So, yeah. So that is why I did size medium. But really, honestly, I think I just needed to make the body longer. So, who knows, maybe someday I will decide to figure out a way to make the body longer, but I'm guessing I'm probably just done with this garment and I will just wear it as is. Because honestly, it's a really nice piece to wear on an 80-degree day. So, yeah. So, honestly, if I'm not grabbing stuff from the top shelf at a store, it's honestly fine. So, yeah. So, that is my one finished object, and I am really happy with it, except for, of course, having to keep adjusting it because of the body length. But it's superwash wool, so superwash merino, so superwash wool does tend to grow when you block it, which is maybe why I haven't blocked some of my sweaters, because I'm happy with the size they are and I don't want them to get bigger. But yeah. So, anyways, now we're going to move on to whips. And I'm going to start with this one. I technically have a couple of whips that I'm not going to be showing you. I won't be showing you my doodler because I've only put a couple of rows on it. And that's because that's the project I brought with to yarn over, because I didn't want to bring the sweater I was working on because it's kind of big and bulky to carry around at a fiber fair. So I brought my doodler, but it's in the bottom of a bag that has a bunch of yarn in it right now. So but yeah, I will need to go steal the needles from it so I can do MCAL, but which means I'm going to have to put that on a holder, but yeah. But here is one of my whips, and this hasn't been getting a lot of love lately, but I might have put some progress on it since I have shown you guys last, so I will just hold it up anyways. This is a sweater I'm making. The pattern is Southwood by Galt House of Yarn. And that is just a very plain, basic sweater. And what I like to do with that pattern is I like to buy random quirky yarns and just knit a plain sweater. So that's what I'm doing. And And I affectionately like to call this my Orange Zest sweater. Um, this is Hobby Lobby. I love this yarn in the colorway Orange Zest, which is why I call it my Orange Zest sweater, because I don't know about you, I wouldn't have come up with Orange Zest on my own. I don't know where Hobby Lobby got that name from, because I do not see Orange Zest at all with this sweater whatsoever. But I am calling it my Orange Zest sweater because I have a ton of different yarns that I want to make really plain sweaters out of. And if they're worsted or Aran, it's going to be Southwood. I do have a fingering, a sport, a DK, a bulky, and a super bulky pattern picked out for other yarns, but if it's a medium weight number 4 yarn, then I will use Southwood by Bellhouse Yarn. And so I've started to call all my plain sweaters. I've not been calling them the name of the pattern. I've been calling them, I've been naming them after the yarns they're knit out of, because otherwise if I just say, oh, here's my Southwood, then people are going to be like, oh, which one? Because you've made so many of them. So I'm calling it my Orange Zest sweater so that it's not confusing which Southwood I'm talking about. So yeah. But this is, let's see, 100% acrylic, 252 yards, and it's a worsted weight. And I have 6 skeins of it. And I'm on my 4th skein, I think. But next time I pick this up, I will be starting the ribbing at the bottom, so then I'll be able to move on to the sleeves. Yeah. But I just thought this yarn was really pretty and I had to have it. So, definitely got that at Hobby Lobby. Yeah. I don't shop at Hobby Lobby too often, but, sometimes I do. It just depends. Anyways. Now here is the whip I am most actively working on at the moment. And guys, on Thursday when MCal launches, I will definitely be setting this aside until MCal is done. Unless I'm still knitting the MCal and it's close enough to my deadline for this, then I might set that aside and finish this and then finish my MCal. But I am filming this on October 1st. And this is a lot later than I wanted to film it. I wanted to film it like earlier this week, but I didn't get around to it. But yeah, that's because I somehow stained my pants while I was at Yarn Over. I'm not sure what I did, and I didn't want to show that in my podcast episode. So, yeah. And so I had to wash my pants, and I never got around to it. So that is part of why I didn't film this earlier this week. So yeah, by the time you're seeing this, my MCal intro video should be live. Yeah. But anyways, here is my new cast on. Now this is a sweater that I've cast on. Oh, I cast it on middle of August. And I am already on the sleeves. And you guys haven't even seen it yet. This is the Painting Triangle sweater by Stephen West. So I'm already done with the body and I am on the sleeves. So I am doing a 2 at a time sleeve technique. So that's why both sleeves are on the needles at the same time. And whenever I want to try it on to see how long the sleeves are, I just pop one of the sleeves onto a different circular needle and then I do that. But yes, I'm doing 2 at a time sleeves, because that is how I usually like to do my sleeves. There are some patterns out there where I'm not comfortable doing them 2 at a time, but usually I am fine with it. So yeah. So wow. Painting Triangles sweater by Stephen West. So yeah, really happy with how it's turning out. Love my colors. And I just ordered online a pale yellow t-shirt to go under it because I didn't have such a thing. So yeah. So I forgot to grab my labels, but I do have all of my yarns here. So this is my main color. This is from Clarindrad. It is her Merino DK base in the colorway Lemonade, and I have 6 skeins of it. I thought I was only going to need 5 of those 6, but I got all 6 skeins that Stephen B had because I had it on clearance. And I'm not 100% sure, but I think Clarindrad might not be dyeing yarn anymore. I'm not 100% sure. So I'm using the last 2 skeins on the sleeves. So yeah. And if you guys aren't familiar with 2 at a time sleeves, if you are any somewhat familiar with 2 at a time socks, it's basically the same thing. So yeah. I tried doing 2 at a time socks one time and I did not have good luck with it, but I've had good luck with 2 at a time sleeves, so I don't know. But then here's my 3 contrast colors. I have the orange, which is Nurturing Fibers Super Twist DK in the colorway Maple. Then my, whoops, that's not it. My second contrast color is this burgundy here. This is Madeline Tosh DK in the colorway Coquette Dew. And then my third contrast color, this is Madeline Tosh DK, and this is a one-of-a-kind skein that I got a couple years ago when Madeline Tosh Mobile came to Stephen B. I kind of wish I had already started this channel at that point because it would have been cool to get a video there, but oh well. So yeah, those are the 3 contrast colors. If you're wondering why this one's smaller, even though I use the least amounts, because Nurturing Fibers Super Twist DK comes in 50 gram skeins, so it's only a little over 100 yards. So, but all of my yarns are 100% superwash merino. So yeah. But yeah, I'm really happy with how this is turning out. I really like the broken rib pattern that Stephen chose to put on the body of the sweater. And then the I-cord bind off really finishes this off nicely. Yeah, so initially I wasn't 100% sure if I'd like the broken rib or if I would have just done stockinette, but no, I like it. So yeah, so happy with how this is turning out. This has been my most active whip since I've done an episode. So yeah, and the reason I say I have a deadline on it is because I'm hoping to maybe wear it to the Stephen B holiday party in December, because that's where I got all 6 skeins of my contrast color. I did get my color pops at Stephen B as well, but I got those a different time. I did not get those at the holiday party. As I mentioned, I got the purple at Madeline Tosh Mobile. I think I got the skein of Coquette Dew there as well, but I think that was the skein Stephen B already had. So I don't think that was specifically Mad Tosh Mobile related, but I got it the same day. Then the orange, I don't remember when I got that, but I know I got that at Stephen B. Anyways, so that is it for whips. Just like I said, my only other whip I would show you is my Doodler, but it's put away somewhere, so I will move on to acquisitions. So I am showing you guys these acquisitions in no specific order. And if you guys want to see what I got at Yarn Over, just hop over to my Yarn Over video, because I don't necessarily want to show those off again because this video will be a million years long if I do. So there is one acquisition that is not Yarn Over related that I will not be showing today, and that's because I showed it off in my Yarn Over video. If you've seen my Yarn Over video, you will know that I purchased this skein online from Artistic Yarns by Abby, and it is her Monarch Butterfly self-striping yarn. And I showed that off in the Yarn Over video because I bought the rest of the yarn to go with it. So if you want to see that skein, hop back to my Yarn Over video if you haven't already watched it. Because I currently have that put away, so I didn't want to dig it out just to show you, as I've already shown it off in a video. So anyways, so I will, however, still be showing off what I got in my LYS tour videos. So yeah. So first off, I didn't do a video there, and I wish I would have, but I made a purchase at Muse 2320 in Hastings. So they were vending at Shepherd's Harvest, and they were vending at Yarn Over, so you might remember them from that. But this is something I saw when I went to their shop for the Yarn Shop Hop this year. Minnesota Yarn Shop Hop. So this is what I got. This is Muse 2320 Pipit DK. The color is called Leatherbound. It is 75% superwash merino, 25% nylon, 245 yards, 100 grams. And it's a DK weight. Yeah, so I think that is really nice and a beautiful color. So this is going to be the contrast color in my Glow with the Flow by Stephen West. It's a sweater. And then I will show what I got at the yarnery. Here's my yarnery bag. This is Isager Silk Mohair. It is 75% kid mohair, 25% silk, 25 grams, 212 meters. I will put the yardage on the screen because I don't know what 212 meters is in yards off the top of my head, so I'll pop that on screen. And it is lace weight. And this is color number 22. And I got 7 skeins of this. So, yep, 7 skeins. I only have 1 skein of this, though. So, how Glow with the Flow works is Glow with the Flow, you have a main color, a contrast color, and a mohair. And so the neckline on top is your main color in DK weight, held single by itself. Then you have the ribbing at the bottom on the front is your main color in DK weight, held single. The ribbing in the back of the bottom is your contrast color in DK weight, held single. The ribbing on your sleeve cuffs, contrast color, DK weight, held single. And then the body is the same color as your main color, but it's in fingering weight, held with lace weight mohair. So technically Steven used a whole bunch of different colors for his main color for the fingering weight, and then he just pulled one of those and used the exact same color as the DK for the ribbing, but I chose to go with all the exact same colorway for mine. So I've ordered my main color, but it hasn't arrived yet, so yeah. Sorry guys, my hair's in my face. Anyways, so My main color will be from Three Irish Girls. It is her Just Like Honey colorway. So I'm getting the Springvale sock and the Springvale DK, both of which are 100% merino superwash. But yeah, it's dyed to order, so it hasn't arrived yet. And I was going to wait to film this until it arrived, but she has kind of a weird dye schedule. I don't 100% know what it is, but most yarn companies that an LYS would stock, I can just show up at the store and say, oh, you don't have enough of it in this color, or you don't stock it normally in this color, can you order it in for me? And normally a store would say, yes, sure, no problem, we can order it in for you. But from Three Irish Girls, they're like, she has kind of a weird dye schedule, so she just sends us yarn when she gets around to dyeing it. So that's like the one company that yarn stores can't order in from, so they can't do like special orders. They just get in what they get in when they get it in. However, Three Irish Girls does dye to order on her website, so I just ordered it from her website because, you know. But I would like to wear this sweater to the Yarn Shop Hop next year if I'm able to attend, because that's where I discovered all three of those yarns. Obviously, I saw this one at Muse 2320. And I mentioned I got this at the Yarnery, so yes, that's the shop I saw that at. But the Three Irish Girls, I saw it in the fingering weight at Northfield Yarn. So, yeah. So I'm pretty excited about knitting that. And I'm super impatient for my yarn from Three Irish Girls to arrive, because I'm really excited to get it all photographed and put on Ravelry. So, yeah. But in the meantime, I've got other things I can work on. So, yeah. Anyways, so here's my next acquisition. And again, I'm showing these in no specific order. This is something I ordered online from Joann's. This is Big Twist Reverb. This yarn is actually discontinued, and they no longer have it in stores, but they have some left in their warehouse, so they're still selling it online, but that's only while supplies last, because this was from last season's collection. But this is Big Twist Reverb. It is 100% premium acrylic. It is pretty soft for an acrylic, so... But yeah, Big Twist Reverb, 100% premium acrylic. It is, where's the yardage? 311 yards, which is 285 meters. And it is 150 grams, 3.5 ounces. And is a medium weight number 4. I don't remember if Ravelry said it was a worsted or an Aran, but anyways, I will be knitting Southwood by Galt House of Yarn out of this. I got 6 cakes of it. I had it all nicely put away in my drawer, so I only grabbed 1 cake out to show you, but the color is called Rust Red. But yeah, I got 6 of these, so that'll make a nice Southwood sweater. So I think I'll probably end up calling it like my Reverb sweater, maybe, I don't know. But anyways, so that is my acquisition from Joann's. Then I made a purchase at Michael's. And I ordered this on their website as well because they never seem to have enough in stock at the store, even though it's from their current collection. This is from their fall 2023 yarn collection. This is Loops and Threads Multi-Marled. let's see here. It is 100% acrylic. It's a bulky number 5. And let's see here. How many yards is this? 130 yards, 118 meters, 4.44 ounces, 126 grams. The color is called Apple Spice. And because it's a number 5 weight, the number 5 weight pattern I like to do with fun, interesting yarns is Pritchard by Christina Dene. So that is the pattern I will be doing. And I bought 11 skeins of this. I think I bought too much. And here's why. I wasn't paying attention to the weight of the yarn when I ordered it. So I bought 11 skeins thinking it was a medium weight number 4. And so that I could make Southwood. And as soon as I ordered it, I'm like, nope, it is definitely a number 5 weight. So I checked my gauge for both patterns, which is why one of the skeins is opened up already. And I got gauge on the number 5 weight pattern because it's obviously a number 5 weight. So yeah, I'm a little bit annoyed that I bought too much because I didn't check to see that it was a number 5 weight. But I thought it was weird that I had to order 11 because I'm like, I seem to remember needing only 6. So, but yeah, so I only need 6. So hopefully I'll get around to knitting this soon because my idea or my goal is to hopefully be able to return the skeins I don't need to the store. But I don't know that I'll get around to knitting this in enough time to do that before they no longer stock it. So we shall see, but I will definitely figure out a way to maybe sell this yarn if I knit it after they discontinue it. But I think this is a really pretty sweater. And the fact that it's called Apple Spice, I think it'd be a cute sweater to maybe wear to an apple orchard or something. Although I do still have the yarn to knit the Apples and Honey Shawl by Rick Shell. So, yeah, you guys might remember back in the spring when I bought that yarn. I don't remember what podcast episode that was, but yeah, so that would be cute to wear to an apple orchard. So, I don't know, but yeah, so this is red with a couple other colors in it. So, Apple Spice, super pretty. I'm debating whether or not I should keep a 7th skein. So, comment down below if you have an opinion on this. Yeah, comment down below if you guys have an opinion on whether or not I should only keep 6 skeins and return the rest, or if I should keep 7 skeins just to have a little extra and then return the rest, or if I should wait till I'm done knitting this and then figure out what to do with the rest, because I know I'm not going to need all of that yarn. And again, I don't want to return it 2 years from now because I won't be able to because I won't have it anymore. Because this is this year's yarn. So, yeah, comment down below what you think I should do so that I don't have a lot of extra. But, yeah, so, because I bought too much one other time for another sweater, and I still haven't figured out what to do with the leftovers. Long story short, it was a 5-weight yarn, but it was a chain spun yarn, so I thought maybe it would stretch enough where I would more easily get gauge on the 4-weight pattern, so I bought enough to knit that. Turns out I got gauge on the 5-weight pattern, so yeah. So this just comes to show that I should really see what weight things are so that I can not buy too much. Anyways, here's my next acquisition. You will have also already seen this about almost a week ago. On Monday, I went to the Knit and Crochet store at the Mall of America. You guys might remember that, and also they were a vendor at Yarnover. It's kind of cool. I had no idea that Kathleen from Mode Knit Yarn works there. But yes, the yarn store at the Mall of America, Knit and Crochet stores. And hopefully I'll get to their other location at the Ridgedale Center in Minnetonka, but I don't know when that's going to be, but when I make it there, I'll try to film a little bit of footage there. But just a tiny little store, so yeah. But if you want to see what the store looks like, hop back to my LYS tour of the Knit and Crochet store at the Mall of America. And you guys will have already seen what I bought when I was there, because I already showed it in that video. I'm going to set this aside so the rustling stops. Alright, so here's what I got while I was there. I bought some Valeria Lana's Vicuña Merino. And this is 100% wool, 87 yards, and it's medium weight number 4. It's on the thicker side of a worsted, bordering on an Aran, I'd say. I think I'd call it an Aran weight. Yeah, I'd definitely call this an Aran weight yarn. But this is color number 000, and this is the white. And I have 5 skeins of this. And this one is color number 049, this light gray. And I have 5 skeins of this. And then this one is color number 158. And again, I have 5 skeins. So this is going to be a nice gradient. I'm going to be knitting the Mesure Plastique sweater by Stephen West. And how that one works is you have 3 color gradient on the body and 1 of the sleeves. And then on the neckline and the other sleeve you have a color pop. So here is my color pop. This is color number 114, and I also got 5 skeins. And I don't know for sure if I'm going to need all 5 skeins of each of these, because his yardage requirements were kind of approximate. So I may or may not need all 5, but what Steven says in the pattern is, he was very specific, like you need this amount of your color pop for this particular size or whatever. But for the main color, because all 3 of these are considered the main color, he just said you need X amount yardage for your main color. He didn't say you need X amount He didn't say you need X amount for main color 1, X amount for main color 2, and X amount for main color 3. He just said you need X amount for your main color. And then he goes to show what, and then he lists what the model is wearing. He's like, okay, the model's wearing this particular size. I want to say it's the 5th size, so that's 1 size larger than I'm making. And he's like, okay, so I used 2 skeins each of those yarns. Well, okay, he was like, okay, I used 6 skeins for my main color. And so I assume that to mean he used, and if you're wondering, the sample was knit out of La Bien Aimée Merino Aran, so that is a lot more yardage than these little things do. So he used 6 skeins for the main colors, so I'm assuming that means he used 2 skeins of each of the 3 colors. So I got enough to be 2 skeins of, so I got enough of each of these to equal 2 skeins of La Vie en Aimee Merino Aran, which is why I have 5 skeins of each. Again, keeping in mind the model is modeling 1 size larger than I'll be making, so that's why I'm thinking I might have extra. But I just want to be on the safe side of things and make sure I have enough, so that is why I got 5 skeins of each. And then I think the yardage for the ColourPop, I think it was like 3 point something skeins, like 3.99 skeins. And so I almost need a complete 4th skein, and so I'm like, I better get a 5th skein just to be on the safe side in case I need it. So that's why I got 5 of my contrast color, this beautiful gold, really nice gold color. Anyways, here is my next acquisition. So I made a purchase from Ice Yarns. Alright, I'm going to take this out of the package so I can reduce all the rustling. Alright. I have to figure out how to open it. But this is Ice Yarns Silk Merino DK. So this is 35% silk, 65% merino wool. 50 grams, 140 meters. Again, I'll put that on the screen what the yardage is. But it's 140 meters per skein. And it's a lightweight number 3 because it's a DK. So, yeah, this is really nice and soft, and I think this will be nice to work with. And I got 2 different colors of it. I also got it in this brown. So I think these will be really nice together. So here's what ended up happening. So this color is called brown. And this color, it doesn't say on the bag there, but the color is called light salmon. I wouldn't call this salmon. They do have a regular salmon as well, which I think is probably more of a salmon color. But, yeah. So what had happened was, one of my friends, she had purchased, I forget what she bought, but she bought something. There's a store at the mall called Arula, and she had purchased something from there. And I saw the bag and thought it was so pretty. It was this like grayish black color, but it was mostly black, and then it was salmon. And then there was a little gold in it as well. So it was kind of a 3-color thing, but I really like the black and the salmon together. I'm like, that's a really nice color combo. And so I was inspired to make something in that color combo. And so I ordered light salmon and black, because I thought I would be getting the right things, right? Well, instead of getting black, they sent me brown. They do have a black, and there was a separate listing for the brown. So the black was listed as out of stock on Ice Yarn's website, but in their Amazon shop it said they had 2 packs of it left. So I ordered the yarn actually on their Amazon store, and instead of getting black, they sent brown. But when it arrived, I could not be happier. It's like, oh my gosh, I think I like this color combo so much better. Because I would have had to order the normal, regular salmon color in order to, I think, be happier with the salmon, because I think this looks almost more like a peach. So I'd call this more of a peach, honestly. So yeah, But anyways, these are going together. And so I got one pack of what was supposed to be black, but ended up being brown. And 4 packs of the peach, or light salmon. So I had a total brain fart when I ordered this. I only need 3 packs of the light salmon, but I ordered 4 accidentally. So I knew I only needed 12 skeins, but I think I was having a brain fart and thought there were 3 per pack. But I knew I only needed 3 packs of 4. But I think I was getting tired, and I'm pretty shortly after I ordered this that day, I think I went to bed, so I don't know. But I have an extra pack than I actually end up needing. So I'll have to figure out what to do with that. But anyways, I will be making out of this the Pressed Flowers Pullover by Amy Christophers, which I think will be really beautiful. So that's my yarn for Pressed Flowers by Amy Christophers. There's a couple different patterns. There's, I believe, some socks. I think there's a shawl. There might be a cowl. Is there a hat? I think there is. Yeah. So, I don't think there's a cardigan, but I could be wrong. But I'm doing the Pressed Flowers Pullover by Amy Christophers out of this, and that'll be really pretty. So, yeah. Alright, we're going to move on to my final couple acquisitions. And this is the yarn I bought when I was on vacation last month. End of August, I went to Itasca State Park. And that is in northern Minnesota. That is actually where the Mississippi River starts. The Lake Itasca feeds the Mississippi, so went to the headwaters of the Mississippi River, and yeah. Well, anyways, of course, I got to go yarn shopping. So, I was hopefully going to make it to 2 yarn stores on the trip, but I only ended up going to 1. The one I didn't go to, there's a town in Minnesota called Shevlin, and they have a store called Char's Yarn Basket, and I was hopefully going to make it there. She's only open a few days a week, and it said on Google that she's open on Saturdays, but she doesn't have a website, and her Facebook page she hasn't posted on in a couple of years. But it says she's open, I forget what days of the week, but our plan was to go Saturday. She's not open as late on Saturdays, but, well, we show up and she's closed. Now, the sign at the store says Saturdays are only by appointment. Google says she's open. So that's a little bit of a miscommunication there. So I didn't get to go to Char's Yarn Basket, but hopefully next time I'm in that area I can go on one of the other days of the week, because the rest of the days that Google advertises they're open, they are actually open. So that was just a mistake on our part. But anyways, we did spend a day in Bemidji, which is a town not too far from Itasca State Park. And I went to the Bemidji Woolen Mill. So, the Bemidji Woolen Mill, they mostly sell woolen items, and weirdly enough, they sell some shoes as well. And then they have a little tiny yarn room in the back. And I took a little footage at that store. I will pop that on the screen now while I'm talking about it. It's just a very tiny room, and literally my footage was like 30 seconds or less, and so I didn't feel that it was really worth it to make its own separate video, because I didn't really film the rest of the store. I just filmed the yarn room. But you guys can see they mostly carry Brown Sheep, Lamb's Pride, but they stock a couple other yarns. And then they have their own hand-spun yarns, which is what I bought, because it's something unique and special. And so here's what I got. I was really drawn to this yarn here. The color is called Love Bug. Yeah, Love Bug. It is 90% alpaca, 10% merino, 200 yards, 3 ply. So I'd consider it to be a worsted weight. Yeah, I'd consider this to be a worsted. So, yeah. I think it's really nice. Yeah, I like it. But they only had a few skeins of it, so it wasn't enough to make an entire sweater. So, that was a bummer. And so I had got some other yarn to go with it, which is this. This is called Bandit Worsted. I think the color's called Bandit, I don't know. And this is 100% alpaca. I'm not 100% sure, but that might be the name of the alpaca. Like maybe they name their alpacas or whatever, or wherever they source the fiber from. But I don't know otherwise why it would have this name. But it's called Bandit Worsted. It's 3 ply, 200 yards, 100% alpaca. And I got several skeins of this, which I'll show you in a second. And so my idea was to pair these together and knit the Night Nook sweater by Stephen West. But this I do feel is a worsted weight. Even though this is called Bandit Worsted, it feels more like a DK weight. And of course, while I was on the trip, I had my triangle sweater with me. And so I was holding it up to my triangle sweater, and I was like, no, this is very much feels like the same as the yarn from the triangle sweater. So this feels more like a DK weight than it does a worsted. So I've changed my mind on what pattern I want to do. And so at this point, I'm starting to question why I bought these 2 skeins, because now I have to figure out what to do with them. But, you know, it is what it is. But yeah, so I got 6 skeins of this. I don't know. I literally bought every single skein they had of this Bandit Worsted. Let's see here. Yep, 6 skeins. Now, it's not a full complete 6 skeins, keeping in mind that this yarn is hand spun, and so they only have the amount of fiber that they have. And so each of these skeins is 200 yards, except for the last skein. I'm thinking this was the last skein they made and they must have run out of fiber, because this one is only 160 yards. And due to that, it was a couple dollars cheaper, but still. This is only 160 yards, but I have plenty to do what I'm going to do, so. While I was on the trip, and this was after I had already purchased this, Stephen West released the fragmentation sweater. And so I then decided that this is going to be my main color for the fragmentation sweater. So, I know I mentioned to you guys in my yarn over video that my main color for that was an acquisition. Reason I mentioned that was because I bought one of my color pops for it at yarn over. So the yoke, if your knitting size is 1, 2, or 3, you need 6 color pops on the yoke. If you're knitting size 4, you need 7 color pops, and if your knitting size is 5 or bigger, you need 8 color pops on the yoke. I'm knitting size 4 because that's my size, and so I need 7 color pops on the yoke. I only had 6 in my stash, so I went and bought another color pop at Yarn Over. So that was the purple skein I got from All In Yarns. If you want to see that, go look at my Yarn Over video. I will also pop a photo on the screen of all 7 of my color pops so you can see them. But basically, I had bought originally 8 color pops to knit the painting brick sweater, and then I ended up deciding to steal 2 of them to put into my triangle sweater. That would be the burgundy and the purple. And while I could replace the burgundy, the purple was a one-of-a-kind. So, the orange was never in that palette, but anyways. So, what I did instead was I just got a different shade of purple, because if I only need 7 pops, the burgundy would be the one I would think to eliminate, because I think it would be more visually appealing to have a purple. So yeah, this is going to be my main color to go with it. I know this is 100% alpaca, and all my color pops are 100% superwash merino, so it'll be interesting to see how that plays together. But yeah, so that is all of my acquisitions. So that is everything I have to share with you guys today. So I am Andrew. Thank you for checking in here at the Neon Knitter, and I will see you in my next video, which will probably be my MCalcula 1 video, but we'll see. So yeah, I'll see you in my next video.